but just wanted to do a quick little walk around here in the Fab Shop. I got Jeff over on the other side of the screen here. I'm going to flick over to him, and we're going to do a little walk around for you boys. So, yeah. Jeff, what do we got?
So we got the Speed UTV El Jefe trailing arms that we're looking at. Doing some spot checks to inspect the welds, make sure they're still meeting our standard on every single individual bead.
See if I can clean my lens a little better. There we go.
There you go. You can see dimes on dimes. And then also checking over to make sure each side's got our bleed holes that double over as our delt clamp fixations for the brake lines.
So these are trailing arms here. And as I saw, there's one basket, two baskets, three baskets, four baskets there. There's two baskets of trailing arms over here. Two more over there. Now remember, we have brought you inside this thing and showed you the process all the way through, everything we're doing. Here is sway bars. This is our rear sway bar, and these are the sway bars before they get the ends welded on them. And as you can see, these are mandrel bent, so there is no kinks in the tubing. Very clean, very smooth. This is a rear sway bar on the Speed UTV, and as you see, there is hundreds of sway bars here. And then over here we've got some A-arms mixed with some trailing arms. Now these are not obviously painted. These are just in the process of fabrication. They'll go back, get blasted, get cleaned, get painted. It is humid here, so stuff does try to rust real quick. We got to be really careful of how we go from fabricated part to from there to a painted part, and then it gets the sandblasting, the acid washing, and then straight to powder or to dipped powder. And then over here is piles. I saw Andy McMillan a while ago showing some Mason A-arms built up, and this might put it in perspective, but I'm going to say there's hundreds of A-arms, trophy truck style A-arms, internal webbing, beautiful welds all the way down, pockets, monoball housings, bronze bushings, very similar to how we do everything on a trophy truck. So Jeff's got stuff over here he wanted me to see. What do we got here?
These are
there's
wiring harness.
Yes. So in the very beginning, one of the first tests, we did have an issue with a wiring harness in Chupacabra's car getting caught on the drive shaft. There's a 4-bolt flange inside here, and Jeff came up with this cool little stamping, and this is just it's crazy light, just thin sheet metal stamped ribbed, and this is to protect the wire harness from ever getting into the drive shaft again. So not only did we have to do a change on how our process of zip tying it, we put a protector in there, so if the zip tie broke, it still could not get in there and grab it. So these are just wiring harness protectors down the center of the drive shaft.
Yeah.
All right, I'm over in this section. These are window nets. Yeah, here you go.
That just popped out of nowhere.
These are window nets. So just didn't even know what was in these baskets, but these are all just window net frames. All these are window net frames. They got our cool little latch release system, but these are all window net frames.
Wow.
That's crazy. I had no idea what they were when I first looked at them. Saw them in a basket of things piled in, and it starts, you can see they're organized really nice and done, and then they just try to shove more in the basket. Like I said, these will all go to sandblast. They will go to acid washing, and they will get, powdered and ready for a car. Over here is some rear cages, and these are the removable rear cages that go underneath the differential, and it has a trailer hitch mount to it, but the motor and transmission is hung from the top. So these are all cages that go up on underneath the car and protect the bottom of the transmission and engine. I know that Chupacabra did take a Pro R, I believe with coin, and they went to the desert the other day, and they said that we're pretty damn close with the Pro R. And remember, that's 1,000 cc's more than us. So it is 1,000 cc's more than us, and it's not registered as a UTV, but all right.
Got the whole subframe stuff.
Um,
You ever shown that before?
Yeah, we've shown subframe before. I'll kind of go back in here. Let's walk over, and I'm gonna show you. So I've showed you some A-arms, showed you some subframes there. Everywhere I look, there's just more parts, and we're not talking a small amount of parts. We're talking piles of parts. So here is some internal structure, and I think this is good to see.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're in a good area here. This is a
Put it on the card.
prefab. Yeah, go ahead and grab one of those out of there. Here, this is kind of cool to see for most people. Actually, it's cool here. Let me just click there. So these are weld assemblies, and this is inside of one of our trailing arms. So it's kind of cool to show you down deep inside. You see the little tongue and grooves, and then this is the pocket, and this is the internal webbing. So these aren't, just done cheaply to be a UTV manufacturer. These are done as we build a Class 1 car or as we build a trophy truck. There's the internal structure of the rear trailer arm. Kind of cool to see that. And these are baskets of structures that are going to the next weld station. So, A-arms again. Trailing arms, and these are in a process going down. Then obviously, as they get final, they'll get organized up, and they'll be nice and organized. These are upper A-arms. So here's all upper A-arms for the Speed UTV. And there's baskets and baskets and baskets of upper A-arms. So there's one there. And we do have a pretty cool process here. These are what we call thermodrill, and my phone sucks. I do need to get a new phone. Maybe I get some cars to market, I can afford to buy a new phone. But the thermodrill is a process where it basically swedges into the tube, and when it swedges into the tube, it makes a thread, which gets us a nice deep thread. Instead of just the wall thickness of the tubing, we get about 5 or 6 threads in there. So, these are upper A-arms. These are all 77 upper A-arms. And as we've seen, Jamie Campbell talk about a taco gusset. There's a stamped taco gusset. And these are built in to our Speed UTV cars. So it comes with gusset kits, comes with proper A-arms. More tacos, more trailing arms, and more trailing arms, more trailing arms. These have not been finished yet. As you see, they're just piled in because they don't have buckets welded in them. So we weld the whole trailing arm first and get all this stuff up done, let it flex and do whatever it wants to do, and then we drop in our pivot points last. So we'll put in the bucket last, I'll put in the pivot point. That way, all the welding and all the flexing that happens during the process of welding really doesn't matter, because the point we care about is where we pick up the center of the trailing arm, where the inner pivot is, and where the outer pivot is. Outer pivot's over, inner pivot's there, outer pivot's over there. So there's a process how we build these. And as you see, there's no buckets, there's no receivers, and no cups. We fabricate the whole thing first, and then we go into to put it in the other pieces. Pretty cool. Oh, hey, Jeff's grabbed some parts over here, laid them out on the ground, part of the process. And now you see, I showed one over there that doesn't have buckets in it. If you want to grab one of those.
Sure, there's one over there.
Yeah, there's one over there, and we can kind of lay out this whole, just a trailing arm process, which is pretty cool. And think about this is just one trailing arm. It's not the whole car. And every piece on the car has been built and designed in a very similar fashion. It goes on this side here, yeah. All right, cool. He's laying out a little cool thing on the floor here. Just we've seen this thing over and over and over in CAD, but to see it here laid out on the floor, it's pretty cool. So the trailing arm will start in this production with flat plates, a couple bents. You see it's got its keyways down there built in. Then that section will get built, then that'll go. Then this will get welded to here and gets built into this sub-assembly. Then the top cap and sides will go on and get it final welded here where it doesn't have its pockets, it doesn't have its receiving cut. Oh, there you go. Actually, we got another section here. Lay it out here for a little bit. As you see, we did not plan to walk in here and do this. We just start shooting. And I think that's something cool about Speed UTV is we show you the full inside. But there is a trailing arm that is gusseted and pocketed. And 1991. I don't know if these will be your arms or not yet. But as you see right here, pockets. And then it gets into its next stage where it gets welded. It gets a top cap put on it. Gets fully welded. No pockets. And then it comes into this next stage over here where it has the bucket welded in it. And then goes here. And then from here it goes into a fixture to make sure it's still all compliant and the shock mount didn't move and the sway bar didn't move and it fits inside of our tolerance. Then it'll go to sandblasting. And from sandblasting, it'll go to acid dip. And then from acid dip, straight to paint. So pretty cool. There's a pretty neat process right here that we didn't plan to show you today and just walked in and checked in the Fab Shop this morning because Sundays are off days here, and that allows us to get around and move without burning my eyes like I did last time, because there is weld station after weld station after weld station that is normally just burning. So I'm at weld station 52, weld station 53, weld station 54, and these are all Speed UTV parts. So this is where the taco gussets are getting welded. And Jeff, you got anything? I mean, besides the obvious, what do we got?
Still looking. There's just so many parts everywhere. It's remarkable.
It takes a lot to do this process. So rear cage section, rear skid plates. Trailer hitch, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Comes production on every car. Obviously, if we were building a race car, we wouldn't put a trailer hitch on it, but we're not building a race car. That's where I think a lot of people still want to come and say, oh, you guys are building a race car. No, we are building a fun off-road toy that's an all-terrain vehicle that you can take all over the world, ride it in the sand dunes, ride it in the rocks, ride it in the mud, ride it in the desert, in the mountains, in the snow. It's an all-around vehicle, and this is I call more of a dual sport car than it's not a sand car, because it's not the lightest car in the industry. It's a dual sport, and it's what the average customer wants. Now, we got our guys from Glamis that want their dune car, and we will build dune edition cars, and we'll leave all kinds of parts off them in the future so we can make them lighter. But what we want to do is we want to give you a fully optimized car with all the packages, and then once we have that, then it's easy for us to peel things off of that car and make a lighter weight car and do different packages for either rock edition or sand edition. Those will come. Most important right now is we got to get cars to market, and that's what you guys are asking for, and that's what we're doing. So I see someone says massive progress. It's been a lot of progress. It's been a lot of imagineering, a lot of engineering, a lot of hard work, and it's been 3 years. We've been on this thing nonstop from every single part. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's go to another part.
Transplate mode.
Yeah, this is something simple. This is the rear trans diff hanger, and instead of just using one plate, it's stamped, and we put two of these things together, so it has a structure here. And we lay two of these pieces together. As Jeff sees, it lays out, gets welded internally, and it makes a really, really nice rear trans hanger, holds the motor.
Lightweight but stiff.
Light but stiff. It's not that light. Obviously later on we'll make billet ones of these. Billet's not optimized for production. Only 100 bandits before Diablos, just so we're clear. Only 100 bandits before Diablos. Someone's asking that question. Trophy burrows on here. What's going on, bud? And then these are some cage sections. And as we said, we build these things like a tilt-up, where we'll build a weld section and then put that section into another section. These are all front upper clips over here. They hold our brake assemblies. And you can see the dual mount brake assembly all built in. Very similar to what we do in a trophy truck or class 1 car.
It's really good.
No, we have not stopped production in any way, shape, or form. We are full bore on production. I don't know where that was told that it got stopped in production. We stopped shipping until we went through like 62 items that we had on our checks. I flew over to Vietnam, went through the assembly factory. How are those? How's those welds?
Looking really good. These are amazing. Sure, I gotta get the light on there for you. In focus. Weird, it's not focusing.
So, all front clip mounts. I have no idea where that stop production came, but there is definitely not a stop production. We are full steam ahead, and there is cars. We've got cars in batches. We'll start releasing batch numbers here when I get back next week of what our initial dates are and what we believe batch numbers and vehicle car numbers will be released as. Here's some cool things. I know this is a long one. I've gone longer than I should, but these are all just seat sliders. Look at a seat slider.
It's really good.
Beautiful part. And those are all the seat adjustments all the way through. Here's a front end weld in station number 26. Everything, every car that comes out of Speed UTV, well, we build a high quality car will look like this. All right, every one of them. I think in the beginning they ripped us up on our welds, and I'm actually glad they did. It probably cost us 4 months of weld teaching, but I would say we definitely have this dialed now.
Masters of welding. Look at that.
So, I got to be honest. Boardmanville, all you guys that have gone out and hated on us, you just make me work harder. So thank you. You only make it harder for the competition.
Thank the haters.
So, the funny thing is when I do read that stuff, I do, we take it personal and we get back down and we go dig and we focus on all small elements, every little small thing and every small detail. And that's why when this car comes to market, there's going to be a lot of happy customers. So, thanks for watching today's show. I'm sure we'll have more. And it's Jeff, you got anything in closing? Come on, talk about our trip a little bit.
We got lots of parts to keep reviewing here, so we got lots of work to still do, but we got a lot of progress, huge progress here. Mass manufacturing is in full kick. We're absolutely upticked to just pumping out these vehicles. It's amazing to see, really. It's really amazing to see. It's more even some hinges and everything.
Hold on, what was this one? Am I going to... Am I going to let any aftermarket company get you check out the cars? Sure. I mean, they can look at the cars all they want. I'm sure they'll come up with their cool little tweaks and little ideas they want to come with. And what we try to do is build the best car we could, from a production car. But, I've seen Brian Coates, what he did to the 14 car. There's going to be all kinds of cool things that the aftermarket guys come up with. And we like it. There's no reason not to. I've already got one customer say he's going to put a cage on it. And that's his choice. Go put a cage on it if you want. what I tried to do was build the best cage I could as a production cage, and everybody has a different taste. He says he wants a flat roof. Okay, well, you know, when we built these things, everybody wanted a round roof, but he wants a flat roof now, so nothing wrong with that. All right, I think that's good. I think we've taken you guys for a walk. You guys have a good day. It is 9:30. I'm 30 minutes late to my my morning meeting, so I think I got like 5 things on our list. I mean, was that 5 things for today?
Yeah, about 5 things.
And that's
not much at all.
That's 5 things on the whole car. And this is everything, every I dotted, every T crossed, and lots of cool stuff. So we got some dyno testing going on in Charlotte in the next 2 weeks. A lot of people probably see us out in the desert in Arizona. We'll have a fleet of cars out there doing some hardcore testing. We're talking helmets on, Hans devices on, fire suits on, going for it. And we're going to go now see everything that we can potentially break. And NORA was good for us. We learned a lot at NORA. These customer cars getting in their hands, those 34 cars that are out there in customers' hands, we're learning from those. They're communicating with us. We're working day and night to keep their cars running and keep them happy. And it's been good. It's been fun. It's what it's all about. Have a good day.